Alive yet, bitch.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE.
Give me a hell yeah!
Now, let's meet the host, Kyle Gagliardi,
The face that runs the place!
Jim Tucker, and Erica Marini.
I'm the boss. I'm the blueprint. I'm the standard.
Well, I think we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I am your host, Mr. OTM, Kyle Gagliardi, and one of my co-hosts is my friend, Jim Tucker, or as I like to call him, Tucky!
What's going on, Kyle? Episode 100 does hit different. You and I, August 22nd, 2019, just two kids with a dream. And since then, we have been joined by the wonderful Erica Marini at Erica_0328. Erica, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Tuck, that stank face will get me every time. I love it. And I'm really happy to be here for episode 100. It's awesome.
Wow.
I'm very excited too. I unfortunately wasn't able to record with you guys. Things went very smooth last week. You know, no issues, right?
Zero glitches. Correct. I did not sweat at all. I was prepared. It was fine. It was awesome. Like I said, Tuckerini shows are my favorite.
You know, once you guys figured out the internet situation, there was good conversations to be had. So if you haven't already listened to episode 99, go ahead and check it out. Erica and Tuck were running the show last week while I was away celebrating my birthday. But, of course, I had to be back for episode 100. It's unreal, Tuck, to believe that, like you said, we started in August 2019. Me and you just used to record here in my kitchen. You'd bring the set over after baseball practice.
Oh, yeah.
And we would just shoot the shit that way. And it has evolved into picking up Erica Marini around episode 70-ish. And then here we are, episode 100, 3 years later. It's insane to think about.
You've been in that condo for 3 years?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy, too?
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Wild ride, right, Tuck?
I mean, you think about it. I don't know that we necessarily thought, I don't think we ever talked about like, ooh, maybe we'll get to 100 episodes or let's just see if this happens. But you put 30 hours between you and I, we pick up the Queen on the East Coast. Now we're spanning the country, and 100 episodes. I thought we'd get here with Wheelhouse before we got here with On the Mark Wrestling, and Wheelhouse is dead. So rest in peace to that.
Is that an official statement right there?
No, it's not. It's not. I'm kind of doing the Ric Flair treatment with it, where like, it's just hanging out, Yeah. So I think it would be fun to have it back. But 100 episodes, super custom graphic here, episode 100. Thank you guys. Sent out the email, the promo email to the mailing list, which was small now, but we're growing. I think the show has brought out the best in all of us, and especially our friendship, and that's why we started it, and that's why we continue to do it. So I almost look forward to the post-pod shenanigans, the pre-pod shenanigans, as much as the podcast with all of our people. So it's awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. And Erica, I've obviously known you all 3 years that we've done the show. You didn't start with us, but the fact that you're here now, how does it feel? Episode 100 with OTM.
I feel like I kind of have been on it from the beginning. Obviously, there was a lot before me, but I think you guys are just so easy to blend with, and I think we all like really click, and you guys are my bros. And I'm happy to be here for this milestone.
I think the long-term play, I think we always had Erica in the mirror somewhere. You know,
around episode 30, I think we started plotting.
we were just, and it was a long-term play. And, you know, we're into long-term storytelling. We're into 100 episodes. So, yeah, I sent out a tweet earlier, pointed at a big announcement. If you guys would like to hear that.
Yeah, we have no idea what this is, Erica. At least I don't know. Do you?
No, I don't.
All right,
Erica, I sent out a tweet a little bit earlier, and I said I haven't told either of my co-hosts this, but we got a big announcement for episode 100. I do personally, and you know, after talking with my wife, a lot of discussions. You know, she and I have pondered the future. My personal future as a husband and what our family is going to look like going forward. And I just wanted to say, we're not fucking leaving. How about 100 more people? Let's go.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. I'm sweating.
You took me on a roller coaster.
The back of my legs are so sweaty right now.
I have goosebumps. I thought something bad or good. I didn't know what was going to happen, but good swerve there.
You son of a bitch.
That was Mark Henry-esque when Mark Henry hinted towards retirement and then turned on John Cena. But guys, before we'll see
you for another 100 fuckers. Let's do it.
And shout out to everybody checking in. STWC from the Wrestling Channel says congrats. Robbie Collins, Mikey Wilson, welcoming back.
Welcome back, you Mikey Wilson.
That's right. Back. Clark Street Wrestling Podcast saying hello. And Dirk Vogus. Oops, I got my cool OTM shirt from my birthday from Ryan. So
hell yeah.
Happy birthday, Mr. Vogus.
And with where the comment section is at right now, I think it's important from the jump to let people know that the MVM title, the most valuable mark title and decal, is vacant right now. Erica and I, we were busting our
That was
ass.
Bold, guys.
Well, we don't play around.
And we're not tossing out MVMs for nothing. You know what I mean? You got to earn it. And this, for episode 100, the most valuable mark is not only going to get a decal, but we're going to send him a t-shirt as well. Episode 100, we're popping off. And if you are, you know, maybe you don't feel like trying to win the MVM shirt, but you want some On the Mark Wrestling Podcast merch, head over to onthemarkwrestlingpodcast.com. And now for this weekend, if you enter the promo code DOOR, you're going to save 15%. We literally cannot give you a higher percentage off because then we would have to pay the company to make the shirts. Even, I mean, we've got them marked down pretty low. So on themarkwrestlingpodcast.com, enter the promo code DOOR. The Forbidden Door pay-per-view title, not the easiest one to promo code.
Yeah, like Hell in a Cell, you can do HIAC, Money in the Bank, you can go MITB. Forbidden Door, we're just going with Door. So go to the onthemarkwrestlingpodcast.com and use promo code DOOR after I just paid for 2 shirts.
And be like Vogus, and you can actually save more money than Vogus did. So suck it.
I think it's about the same. We give out a promo code to the day one listeners. The people that have been involved with OTSN, there's a little discount there, and it might be the same as Door, but hey, you got to be in.
You know, and we're going to get a promo code for the patrons of our Patreon as well.
Hey, you never know. Episode 100, we might get there eventually. We talk about it, but one of these days it's going to start. So
we're going to be about it.
Erica, you kind of came up with a little bit of today's topic. You figured now that we are, halfway through the year, the calendar year. We've had a lot of good matches so far. Do you want to elaborate on what you recommended we kind of discuss here?
I was kind of thinking, I was trying to think of something different, maybe that we hadn't done, but something that would be easy enough for me. And I figure, with it being the 100th show, with it being halfway through the year, I thought maybe we could just all shed a little light on what our current match of the year candidates are, if you have more than one. I thought that would be cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea. And before we decided to plan out this episode a little bit, Tuck, of course, had to ask for my note sheet of the list of matches that I already had for match of the year. Because if you do follow me on Twitter, I keep a tally in my phone of my favorite matches of the year. So I had a decent amount of matches already on there. I mean, we're already 6 months through this 2022, and there's been probably 10 or 12 matches that I've had my eye on. But I want to put it out on the record before we go that I mainly am only watching AEW and WWE. I think the same goes for Tuck and mainly you too, Erica.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we saw the Ring of Honor Supercard, so that might obviously, some of the matches there might be involved in this discussion, but I never saw that show. So we might as well just get into it then. Let's talk about some of the matches of the year that we have seen so far this year in 2022. And if you're watching live right now, interact with us, say some of your favorite matches. And if you're watching this at a later time, give us a like and subscribe here on YouTube. We're trying to get that follower up to 1,000, or subscribers up to 1,000, I should say, so we can get super chats and all that cool stuff. So anything helps there.
Chat.
Yeah, they pay for it, Erica. They got to pay to talk. That's basically what it is.
Hey, Vogus has a great question. He says, "Where's Beastman?" And I'm going to tell you what, Husk. First off, we have to put some respect on his name. But he is very interested in coming on the show. The timelines didn't really add up to get him on 100, but that is something that as we turn the corner, I think we're going to be looking into more interviews and more content with talent as well.
Yeah, for sure. Because you sent out a couple feelers and we got some feedback from some people. So things are coming here now that we've hit the triple digits on the episodes. But Tuck, I mean, we could just go around here and just maybe name off some random matches that really stood out more than the rest. So why don't you give me a match or two that you would say is one of the best matches of the year so far?
Okay, one match that I had a hell of a time watching and really enjoying was the Queen of the Mountain match from Impact at Slammiversary. I'm leading off with that just because it's so fresh and kind of relevant. It happened this past weekend. That entire Slammiversary card was outstanding. And I think that Impact deserves some respect. And those 5 women, they did things that many men would not do in that match. It was a lot of great spots, great storytelling, and that was actually my first time seeing a Queen of the Mountain match. Some people on Twitter had mentioned that they think that it's an overplayed gimmick, but I like the aspect of pinning somebody and putting them in the penalty box, and everyone's ineligible to win until you pin somebody. There were a lot of wrinkles in that match, and there were a lot of places where shit could have hit the fan and went wrong. When you have rules and things like that, I think it's easier to get down in a no DQ type of match. But there were rules that had to be followed, which I appreciate as a teacher, and there were spots all over the place. The double lady spot, I think it was Jordan Grace and Chelsea Green, maybe off the top of the ladder.
Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah, they're insane. They're nuts. And Thick Mama Pump, Jordan Grace got the W. She's one of those I saw her in this sweaty gym in the middle of nowhere kind of thing. So you have a little bit of an attachment to it. And Mista really likes her too. So I'm leading off with that Queen of the Mountain match from Impact Slammiversary, Nashville County Fairgrounds, where we will be, but not for the Ric Flair match anymore.
Yeah, they changed venues, right? They got a bigger spot for that match or that
event.
Yeah,
and Ric Flair won a title in the Nashville Auditorium where the match is going to be. So that's fun. A lot of great matches have went down there, and that card is shaping up. So I get really excited like it's going to be like next week, but we're still ways away, about 6 weeks out from that. So
about 6 weeks away from Nashville, but I'm excited for all that we're going to be doing there. Erica, did you get a chance to watch Slammiversary this past weekend?
I did not. What was I doing?
You were probably doing, important shit. That's what you do. You're a boss-ass bitch, aren't you?
Something like that, but I also have zero memory.
That's fair. That was actually the first Impact show I think I purchased, at least pay-per-view. I don't know, Tuck, have you purchased one before other than the one that you attended in person?
I just went to Bound for Glory. I hadn't paid for anything else. But Ryan Vogus says, is Mista a legit fan of wrestling now or just a great wife? She is a great wife that is now I'd say in a pool. I think she's seated on the edge of the pool with both feet in. Ooh. I think that's where she's at now.
And she's comfy.
Yeah, she's comfy. She likes the water. She's got a Bianca Belair shirt to wear to Money in the Bank with her mom. We got her mom on the boat. So awesome. She is a great wife, but I think she's a great wife that's becoming a legit wrestling fan.
That's good to hear. Yeah, Steve, I agree with Tuck as well, and Steve's with you. He said the Queen of the Mountain match was awesome, and that was something I tweeted out too. That's like nothing I've ever seen before, because this might maybe my 4th time watching Impact in general. But like you said, not a lot of people talk about Impact, but we and you texted back and forth, Tuck, after the show. it's kind of slept on. And I thought the same thing when I saw this card top to bottom. I was like, I was very entertained, you know, and I don't know anything story-wise related to these matches happening, but you go back to that main event that happened at Impact, and I'm not saying this is the match of the year, and we might be getting a little off topic, but like we said, Tuck, it was like they were telling us a story in the history of Impact Wrestling through moves, and that's what made that main event so special at Slammiversary.
Well, and the vignettes, they paid homage to their 20 years, so we got the Spark Notes version throughout the show to get us caught up, and it was really cool that AJ Styles was able to do a video, and they were pointing back to a lot of people that we are familiar with, and I think if anything, the stock and Impact should rise from there. It gave their brand more credibility to a layman like you and I, just watching. But anytime Impact is going to come out west, I'm going to try to find a way to make it, because the venues are smaller. You're on the ring. We paid for the cheapest ticket you could get, and we were 30 feet from the ring when we were down in Vegas last time. So it's just it's a cool experience, much different than the big stadium shows and things like that.
I already know what Erica's smiling about.
Why?
Before we recorded, for the people watching right now, Erica froze already, but at least we weren't live, so I had to snap a fantastic picture of her. But Erica, how much thought and note taking did you take into this match of the year discussion? Do you have a few there?
So I came up with it because I already have like a match of the year, and I hope it changes, because that just would mean good things. If not, I'm pretty like sold on mine.
So you have a definitive number one.
For sure. It made my voice crack.
Well,
I think then I started to think of other ones that I for sure loved, and I kind of then had to narrow it down because I really loved the Rampage I was at. I loved maybe Outside Influence, if you catch my drift, but I loved the Daniel Bryan or whatever the fuck his name is, versus Daniel Garcia match. I love that, but that is not my selection this time. This is not my match of the year, but Tug, you went with the Impact, so I will go with a probably lesser known show as well. No comments, please. Eddie Kingston versus Ishii at New Japan's Capital Collision. Kyle, I think I told you to get that pay-per-view. Amazing. Amazing. If JR was there, he would have called it a slobber knocker. It was so good. You have two guys that are just fucking sluggers going at it. It was incredible, to like up my alley, to say the least. It was great. And the kicker, Eddie lost, and I was rooting for Ishii the whole time. And so I was just very happy top to bottom. That was a match that I could have watched 100 times. I think I only watched it 2 or 3, but it was great. And if you haven't seen it, you should.
I haven't, and now that'll be on my homework. I used to give Tuck back in the day. There's a throwback. We're just gonna, throw it back a little bit here on episode 100. I used to give.
Well, this
Tuck
is our Slammiversary. We've got to
We've
got to do some greatest hits, like overweight. I mean, 70 pounds ago, Tuck doing the Undertaker wake up on your kitchen floor. I mean, let's go.
That's the thing. I posted a TikTok too, a little throwback from us when we started. To us now that people actually liked on TikTok. So make sure you're following us there at Pot on the Mark. But I have a few matches. Do you guys just want to hear the list I have so far?
I mean, I have 2 more. I wasn't.
No, let's hear it. No, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I thought. Well,
no, we're doing like a round robin thing, Kyle.
Okay.
We talked.
So how about I just named my whole list? How about I just name my whole list?
And how about Vogus STFUs?
That is the opposite of round robin.
Well, I'm not going to go into detail. I can take the details for later.
No,
well, I'll make note of this one first, because I think this is one that definitely people have forgotten about. And Cody Rhodes, for the record, as I've seen in the comments, he's getting a lot of match of the year nods from the people watching live. Cody Rhodes, for me, has been in 4 match of the year candidates. And this is the one that I think no one really remembers. And it's Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara.
Oh, yeah.
At Bass at the Beach in that ladder match. That was a phenomenal ladder match. I mean, AEW really does that style very well, but I think that's something that a lot of people have forgotten about since it happened in February, I believe. And that just goes to show you the year that Cody Rhodes has had, because he had a match of the year candidate in AEW, and he's obviously had a few in WWE. So I wanted to give a shout out, of course, to that match first. We got a couple comments rolling in, Tuck, before you get going there with your next answer. Vogus said Eddie lost. I'm shocked. And I kind of agree. I was going to definitely discuss this one. Cody versus Seth at Hell in the Cell was just too good. He was saying, I don't watch AEW, but I saw the ladder match and it was fantastic. So Tuck, what's another match, or do you want to give like your match of the year? Or do you not really have one?
Well, I will not pick one, but
Okay.
I think use this as our springboard for the OTMEs. And here are some matches that we'll be thinking about again with 6 months left in the year. But I want to talk about that triple threat tag match on Dynamite. It was supposed to be a triple threat. It was the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Holy cow. And now that we've been 2 weeks removed and we see where Christian is at now, are we kidding? Right? We got to get Jungle Boy some aloe vera because my guy is burnt right now. My guy is cooked.
Ow.
Christian held nothing back in that promo yesterday. But the thing that I love about Dynamite is they're gonna have, and maybe that's a new section because we got some.
MJF's promo, the shoot before he left.
MJF, you've got the Christian one. So there are options there, but the tag match was great. And to get that on free TV was outstanding.
Erica, thoughts on Vogus's comment? He said Eddie Kingston is
I'm
the
just
2022
really not
Brooklyn
sure
Raw.
where Vogus is coming from anymore. I thought that we were,
Friendly, an alliance of sorts.
I did. I guess that was I guess that's on me.
That's your mistake. He reeled you in a little bit and then just whoosh.
He's the Kevin Owens of our time.
There you go. It's a good comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Erica, I know you got a few other matches. You want to?
I have two other ones.
Yeah.
My second one, this is very, very fitting. Tuck, you went AEW. My second one was AEW. I forget, of course, when it was this year, but it was the match between Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, that was Rampage. That was Rampage.
Okay, to get Wheeler into the BCC. That match, for like 100 reasons, was incredible to me. I think Wheeler just proved himself through and through and won the respect out of everybody, not even in the ring, in the arena, out of probably watching on their television. I think that, he definitely stepped in shit the way he came into AEW. And I think this club, especially with Regal, like slapping him the week before or however long ago that was, earning the respect. The killer was, he didn't tap out. He's all bloodied at the end. You could tell he gains the respect. And then he writes BCC in his own blood on his chest. That was so fucking badass to me. And I loved it. I loved that match. So that is one of my candidates. My second one. I
definitely remember that one. I mean, the physicality between those two, and it was kind of like initiation of sorts.
Yes.
Getting him into the gang or the club. Like, that was a fantastic match.
Definitely earned it.
And Steve agrees with you. He said, amazing choice, Erica. Yuta massively
especially because he came in, like I said, he stepped in shit. He came in with the best friends, because whatever, having trained with Orange Cassidy, this and that. So people are probably like, who is this kid? And I think he just shut every doubter up with that match alone. It was awesome.
Definitely a candidate for the OTMEs in December for breakout talent of the year, Wheeler Yuta. That's
friend of the show.
A name.
Friend of the show, personal friend. Had to watch the cameo before I came on here. I did. Showed him to my mom again. Yep.
Hey, it was that good, I guess. I'm gonna play.
I'm batting about 500 on good cameos right now because the Buff Bagwell one is still leaving a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah, that was a very bad one. So I'll go off what Steve's saying and give you a few more because I totally agree with what he said. My match of the year is also Cody versus Seth from Hell in the Cell. And it's not the best wrestling match, I think, of the year, but with the story involved and the actual injury to Cody and him prevailing after all of that damage that he went through in the Hell in the Cell match, I have to give it my match of the year because I am a sucker for storytelling, and I think WWE still does the best story. So for me, that right now would be my match of the year, but like he said, Bianca versus Becky at WrestleMania, and WrestleMania had a lot of good matches, and it arguably was the pay-per-view or premium live event of the year. That was probably the best women's match, and I think we probably could all agree on that one, Becky versus Bianca at WrestleMania so far this year.
Well, and then the Queen of the Mountain one that we literally just talked about.
Yeah.
And then that triple threat, the triple threat to bounce off Hell in a Cell to pop it off, that was great too.
Yeah. And KG said a very good recent match too between Riddle and Roman. Yes, that was on free TV too.
Oh, that was so good. It was very good.
Bogus said if Mox can carry the pay-per-view, he said Saturday, it's Sunday. This could end up being the best year of his career. He's got some awesome potential matches coming up.
Do you guys think yet who is going to be like wrestler of the year?
Well, it was an obvious choice in my opinion until he got hurt.
Well, I've got if
wait, we can be talking about two people. Oh,
it's Cody. It was Cody.
Oh.
See, and right now my needle is leaning towards Seth because Cody's on the shelf. So I don't know to this point, but if you think about Cody's not where he's at without Seth. Seth and Roman at the Rumble was great. We've got that who he's become since the Monday Night Messiah is outstanding. He encouraged me to buy a blue tie-dye t-shirt, and I think that says something about him too. So
wait, I have a stupid, embarrassing question. Maybe
Let's
I
hear
will ask him. Nope, I'm going to ask it in the private chat. It's a memory lag question.
And thankfully, we have one of those. Gags, what's your next match of the year?
I'll just end it on this one because I have a few more. I don't want to take up too much time because we still have to talk about the Forbidden Door. And once again, it's like Steve's reading my mind. I was going to bring up the FTR versus Bucks match that we got on Dynamite from April
That was another
6th.
one of mine. Yep.
I literally just watched it today because it was on my match list that I sent you, Tuck. And I was like, I need a little refresher on that. But the near falls, the crowd getting into that match. And we're just on a regular Wednesday ass Dynamite. And two of the best tag teams in professional wrestling, FTR, the Young Bucks, every time they match up, it delivers. So that was one of my favorite matches so far this year too.
Here's another guy to shine some light on. We want to talk about Dax Harwood. He's on a heater too. A lot of great matches in tag matches, singles matches. He's been doing great.
Yeah.
Tuck, do you have a match of the year? Oh my God.
No.
Mine in this private chat. I should get kicked off of this show.
Why is that?
The conversation.
Oh, shit. Private chat for reference.
Oh, right. Okay.
Nobody else can see this. Yeah.
It's coming back to me.
She's asking who won each Royal Rumble
I've
match.
been told that I have 51st date syndrome. That's very accurate.
Do you make the little pancake houses too?
So that's why before every show, when Erica gets in, we're like, "Hello, Erica. I'm Jim, and this is Kyle, and you are a member of this podcast."
We are your friends.
We play our video.
Here are some inside jokes, and here's some things that we like to talk about every once in a while.
It's true.
Here's what you don't say. Yeah,
that's why last week wasn't as easy. We didn't have the video to play for. Right. I didn't want to explain who Gags was when he wasn't going to be there. It was a fun. We got
which is why she didn't shit talk me last week, which I was expecting a lot more slander last week. To be honest with you.
I didn't. I was nice.
You were. I appreciate that. So, any other matches though? You guys want to give a shout out?
My number one match of the year, which is I think going to be my match of the year come December 31st, was FTR versus the Briscoes at the Ring of Honor Supercard. That match, as soon as it ended, I didn't even give a shit about the main event. I said, let's just rewind that and watch it again. Like, I probably watched it now like 6 or 7 times. To me, it was perfection. There wasn't like a huge buildup to it. They did some old school, tit for tat video promos back at each other on Twitter or whatever, social media. It was just a classic wrestling match. Perfection to me. 10 out of 10, 1,000 chef kisses. I love it. I bet I say the same thing in December.
And I still haven't watched it.
Oh my God, do it. I'm giving my Fight TV login.
Oh yeah, I got my login. We have to kind of share ours because there's some stuff on there because I want to poke around.
Oh, I have so many good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Forbidden Door though.
Yeah, I wasn't excited until I watched Dynamite, this week's Dynamite, because I thought this week's really brought it, and maybe it was just all the scrambling they were doing because of the injuries that caused a lot of these matches to change, but they finally brought in the big guns. But that's homework for me indeed, is to watch that match. But like I looked up a couple match of the year candidates to see what other people were thinking too before we recorded. And Erica, that match honestly came up the most from what I saw, at least, was that match at the Supercard. But Tuck, you got any other matches? Or are you guys ready to get into the Forbidden Door pay-per-view that we have?
I don't think. Yeah, I think I'm good to go.
Okay, so we saved ourselves a half hour or so to talk about the pay-per-view that Erica and myself will be attending. Erica is flying in to Chicago on Friday, right?
Yep, tomorrow night.
You excited?
Do we need to take an intermission between segments?
Oh yeah. Let's debut it. Let's debut this here, people. We're going to take a quick break, enjoy this video that Tucky made, and we'll be back with our Forbidden Door preview after this message.
What's everybody saying about the On The Mark podcast?
It's just insane, and I love it.
Non-stop hardcore energy.
Unlike any other.
It's a great show.
We'll be right back after a brief intermission.
Love it.
I'll tell you what, our graphics team is insanely talented.
Yeah, I know how to find the downloads. I tell you what, I don't know how to make any of that stuff, but I know how to Google it and figure it out. So
that's enough because I'll try to make one and I will show you what it looks like.
Oh no,
it will look like nothing. I couldn't even get that far.
Erica does Microsoft Paint in 2022. Hey,
it will just be me. Hey, we'll be back. Everyone loves OTM.
And that could be on the Patreon for $3.99 a month, right there. Just Erica figuring out technology. That would be very entertaining.
Ooh, well, that'll be a thing, like once a week, once a month, something like that.
I agree.
Erica picks a wrestler to draw on Microsoft Paint with just the mouse.
Ooh,
I think that'd be great. And it's like guess that wrestler, and if you guess it, she'll print it off, sign it to you,
and you win it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
dang.
Fun.
It's a genius idea.
Dude, I'm telling you, one time we need to enjoy our vitamins and have a good sit down.
Say our prayers.
And let it rip and figure out how we're going to become rich off of this.
Because that's what we're here for. We're not in it because we enjoy it. We're just trying to make money off all these.
Hey, if we made $1 per episode, that would have paid for like 3 months of it.
4 months. You're close. Math.
Yeah.
You'll get there. But Erica, you fly in tomorrow night.
Too. You fly in tomorrow night, Erica.
How we feeling? I know your excitement level's got to be through the roof.
Well, I just received word that Ishii got a knee injury. I'm not happy
in the Ishii. Ouch.
And I know that match would come down to like Ishii and Miro, and they would just be like, so okay.
Bumping meat.
I'm flying in tomorrow. Yeah, I'm flying in tomorrow night. Maybe I land at like 9:30 or whatever. I didn't read it all the way. Son of a bitch. I'm glad I didn't. Son of a bitch.
Will be replaced by Clark Connors. I don't know who that is. Can anybody elaborate on that or no?
Ishii.
Somebody in the chat's going to help us out.
Steve will help us out. Steve's our guy right there. Make sure you subscribe to Steve's wrestling channel, by the way. So
and prayers up to Ishii's Nishis.
Ha!
He really wanted to make sure that people heard that second one.
Erica didn't hear it the first time.
I didn't hear it, so thank you.
What did Erica say the other week that we totally did not catch? That was actually very funny. She had a Tuckyism in the middle of the episode. Do you guys not remember?
No.
All right. Now it's just awkward. Let's move on and get into the Forbidden Door pay-per-view that's happening this Sunday. We're going to talk about these first 4 matches. I don't think we really need to predict all of them. You guys can kind of just give me your thoughts on how you see these things maybe panning out if you would like to. But let's get into this one here. It's a winner-takes-all match for the ROH and IWGP Tag Team Championship match. We got FTR taking on Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb versus Roppongi Vice. Obviously, FTR are the Ring of Honor champions, and I believe Great O'Khan and Cobb are IWGP champions. Winner takes all here, Tuck. Do you have a prediction, or are you just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy this match?
I feel like I lean towards FTR, but that's just the tag team I know the most, and that's where I'm at with a lot of these picks, and therefore that's where my excitement is starting to stem from. The whole pay-per-view gives me early AEW vibes for you and I remember SCU walking down the ramp, and we're like, let's learn about these guys. Oh, here's somebody. Let's learn about these guys. Orange Cassidy, that guy's weird. Okay, I like him too. So I think this is going to be a great opportunity for me to learn more about it. I lean towards FTR because they're just so hot right now. But that's where I'm at.
So hot right now, FTR.
So hot. They're so hot. They're over. They're so hot.
They are the best team right now in
Like Zoolander.
professional wrestling. Erica, you got any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think for sure FTR. And that's why I'm like back and forth on like what shirt to wear, but I'm gonna bring my FTR hoodie. I think it's got to be. Give them all of it. Give them. There's no tag team right now that deserves all of the belts right now more than FTR. So just
and then we can do FTR versus the Usos at the other Forbidden Door, a different Forbidden Door.
Secret hidden door.
The Forbidden Door that we talked about on episode 38, Tuck. You remember that? We were ahead of the curve on that.
We were.
Yep. We gave our WWE versus AEW super card if they were to do it in 2020. So a lot of people switched sides since then. So it might sound a little weird, but you can go back and listen to that one at any time. Steve said that Clark Connors is one of the young lions in New Japan. He was one of the dojo wrestlers, but has broke out winning the 2020 Lions Break crown. Unfortunately, he doesn't know too much more. Well, he apparently knows more than us.
It's a lot more than we know. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it, my man.
Steve's the man. He knows what's going on. But yeah, I agree with you guys. FTR, and I think they can use that having both those titles as leverage to go after the Young Bucks and kind of be like the new belt collectors of professional wrestling, kind of like how Kenny Omega was with all the singles titles. You do that with FTR just to prove how over and how great they are.
And they're not heels. They're such likable dudes. Like Kenny Omega, sometimes I felt was like not polarizing, but like if you weren't
he could be a douche.
Pro Kenny Omega, you were just like, all right, enough out of this guy. But I feel like FTR are just like guys that you went to high school with that loved wrestling and now are like the greatest tag team in the world. And I don't know. You root for them.
Erica's got that glow after meeting FTR.
I do. They are my boys. I love them.
Yeah. That was an awesome photo.
Jax called me sister. We talked about it.
And they weren't shy. They put that arm around you. They're like, that's my homie right there.
I mean, it's fine.
So over.
Okay.
So over. This one, I'm not going to pop up a graphic or anything, but I heard that this match will be happening. Maybe it'll be announced tomorrow. Swerve in Our Glory, which is Shane Strickland and Keith Lee, are going to take on El Desperado. And I do not want to butcher that last name, so I'm not even going to attempt it. But I do not know anything about the two people that he is facing. So that match will be on the card. But this one we do know a little bit about. You can see on the graphic below, we have 6-man tag action. This kind of plays into Blood and Guts that's going to be happening next week. So the way I look at this thing is the team that wins is probably going to lose at Blood and Guts, or at least that's what the history would say. So I think this is going to be an Eddie Kingston win. Actually, I think Eddie's going to go over here at Forbidden Door. Chicago crowd loves him. He's gotten good pops every time that we've been in Chicago. Probably gets the win over Chris Jericho, and then maybe the heels can go win at Blood and Guts. Erica,
I don't know. What if it goes opposite?
That's what I'm saying. It could.
And I hate it. I cannot stand the Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara reunion.
Oh, I like it.
Which upsets me because I love Minoru Suzuki. So, like, I don't know. Maybe he just turns and just chops the shit out of the two of them into smithereens, and then he joins the other three, and everyone leaves happy. That's my vote. Okay. That's my prediction.
Tuck, any thoughts on this matchup here?
I'm really excited to watch it. I don't care who wins.
Yeah, I'm in the same
lot of these matches, strap it on and let's go. And as KG14 says, out of 10, how good do you think Forbidden Door will be? My excitement level right now is started at like a 3. Is probably at an 8. I'm expecting a 10. I think there will be surprises. I think there's going to be layers. And I think Tony Khan knows the demo that he's working with. That
the diehards.
He's got the diehards, but he's also, I think there's going to be some weaving, some Slammiversary Jace weaving to try to bring it in. Because, I mean, if you look at the last 2 or 3 weeks, the build has been like gas pedal. Like Excalibur still trying to breathe from his 2-minute promo where he ran down every match with like a breath in between. So that's kind of where I'm at. And as Steve says, I want Suzuki to fall out with Jericho. Good. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, it should be entertaining. And I don't know how factual this is, but I saw somewhere that 7 out of the 10 matches were changed from the original plans. It's just all of these injuries that have happened.
I can't believe it.
Have affected it that much. I mean, you got to assume Bryan Danielson was going to be a part of it. Sure. CM Punk, Samoa Joe. I mean, I'm sure I'm leaving out some names. Scorpio Sky might have been involved somehow, maybe with Ospreay. So you have like those mid-card champions going at it, something like that. I don't know, but that's crazy to think about that 7 out of the 10 matches.
Crazy that there's so many injuries right now as there are.
In every company too.
Why did everyone need to get hurt?
It's still a really good card. It's still a really good card.
And
it's true.
People like me and you talk, and Erica might know a little bit more about these IWGP guys, but even though we don't know anything about them and their history in wrestling, we know it's going to deliver because you hear these stories about how they're one of the top professional wrestling companies on the planet, and you have AEW who produces nothing but bangers. It's just going to be good quality pro wrestling. So I'm excited for it. And I'm also very pumped for this match. We have the All Atlantic Championship match that will be happening, and apparently Ishii is out and Connors is in. So you have Pac taking on Miro, taking on Malachi Black, and then Connors, who will be taking Ishii's spot. Do you guys lean in another direction here?
I never thought that it was going to be Ishii. Like I said, I'm very bummed that he's not going to be there, and I would love to see him just collide with Miro. But I think since this was announced and since they announced like the participants, it's got to be Miro. So I don't think it matters who from New Japan will be representing in this match or who from AEW. I think it's Miro.
Tuck, what do you think? Also, what do you think about there being another championship added to AEW?
Not surprised. Big belt brand. But you look at Pac, Malachi Black, and Miro. I think Miro is the one that sticks out at you. I would sneaky like a Pac run with a title. Put a little bit more shine on him. He's a great wrestler, and I would like to see it. I don't know if Malachi Black needs the title with the House of Black and where they're at now. Could be an interesting wrinkle. His character doesn't seem like he's hunting titles and championships. He's just kind of looking for chaos. But Eileen Miro would love Pac.
Eileen Miro as well. I think he's probably the favorite in this match, but Miro's also a guy I'd like to see go after the world title. I think he's bigger than the All Atlantic Championship. So with that thought, I'm kind of going the opposite of your thinking, Tuck. You think that Malachi doesn't really need a belt, which I get that point, but if he doesn't win here, he's kind of just floating around searching for things to do. And if he has a title, at least his cronies, I shouldn't call them cronies because they're very talented, but Buddy Matthews and Brody King will have incentive to protect that championship for the House of Black. So my thinking is that, and I'm going to go with Malachi Black to be the first ever All-Atlantic champion.
Wow.
And Pigskin Project checking in, which of course is our boy Ryan Matthews. Congrats on 100, he says. KG14 says he misses Rusev and Rusev Day. And of course, Steve.
It's always Rusev Day.
It is always Rusev Day. And Steve wants Pac for the UK, but predict Miro. Yeah. I mean, like Tuck said, though, Pac would be, if you actually invested into him.
But I feel like they're leaning into like, maybe just because Malachi faced Penta this week, but it's like when they had like Pac come in and kind of like, what's the word? Not defend, but like protect.
Yeah.
Penta from Malachi afterwards. Like I feel like stuff between like the 6 of them is not finalized yet. So I don't know.
And it looks like Ryan Matthews has the same thought as me. He feels like Malachi needs a big storyline to build up to a championship. If they go for it, he'd be a great heel champion. Yeah, I would like to see. I mean, you really can't go wrong with any of these guys but Connors, right?
Yeah.
Like we would get probably a good championship run there. So it'll be a great match like all these other ones. And this one is going to be very entertaining for the IWGP United States Championship. You have freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, my boy right here, taking on Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, obviously, Tuck, known as one of the best in-ring wrestlers in the world. And we know about Orange Cassidy. So this is going to be something, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm excited for this one because it's another opportunity for people to realize that Orange Cassidy can also wrestle. And we get to learn more about Will Ospreay as well. And what I've learned over the last few weeks is that the kid can go, and there's great wrestling all over the place. I think this is going to be a great match.
You got to pick?
I think Will Ospreay retains.
Erica?
I also think that, and I wholeheartedly agree. My favorite thing about Orange Cassidy is when he puts on his like wrestling boots, and you just remember that he's not just a gimmick. He's not just like a comedy thing, that like he as well can go. But I do think that it's Will Ospreay to retain.
Yeah, I agree with Ryan Matthews.
It's gonna be a kick-ass.
The crowd is going to eat
regardless.
this up because Orange is going to do his normal shit. Will's the serious professional wrestler inside the ropes. It's just a recipe for success. So I agree. It could be the match of the night, but I definitely.
Although I would like to say that the first and only time I saw Will Ospreay live was the night that my credit card got stolen, and it was hell to get that straightened out. So like, I really pray that like the same thing doesn't happen.
Hopefully we don't.
If
have
not,
that
like I will be adding you. I will be DMing you, and you just need to like.
And you will owe
pay
Erica
me
money
somehow. Yeah.
Pay us in an interview on OTM episode 102.
Something you can do that. You could do that, Will.
I mean, we'll both be there Sunday. If you want us to hang out afterwards backstage, Erica and I will do an interview.
And he's like a little British, like, he's a little British cunt, like, guess what?
Whoa. We got some.
He is. They also use that word
Our audience.
than we do. I said, is there anybody?
My ears.
His name Mr. Bogus. I mean, Donna, imagine Donna walked in on that. I'm
Donna's
just saying,
at
they
a
use that
concert.
word differently, and I would eat Will Ospreay alive, so I'm not worried about him.
Episode 100 really hits different. I'm going with Ospreay to retain. A match that I didn't add to our little outline here, but I probably should have because I totally forgot about it until now, is Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Bryan Danielson's hand-picked opponent. He said this is someone he trusts, one of the best technical wrestlers other than Zack Sabre. The names I'm seeing personally are Cesaro. I'm seeing Johnny Gargano. Is there any other names that you guys have seen speculated for this match?
Jonathan Gresham.
Saw that as well. Is there anybody you want to see? Like, if you had to pick out of anybody available.
So here's my layer. On Dynamite, they said the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club was joining. So of the people, of those three, of any of them, who do you see fitting the mold of the Blackpool Combat Club?
So also, isn't Cesaro not like totally out of WWE yet?
That I don't know for sure.
I thought I read that, and that somebody said like, and hopefully he kind of just like goes back into like a Seth and Sammy type thing. I mean, Kevin and Sammy type thing where like you go there, you're gonna get paid, you're gonna whatever. Well, Vogus, that's where you were wrong. Also, Steve, you get it. So I don't know. I also feel like I don't know, and I don't want it to be somebody like underwhelming. Like I would be stoked with Jonathan Gresham because like I know that he can go, and I know it's going to be a great match. I'm also trying to also remember that like the people in this crowd that bought tickets for this are going to be people that would be excited just for like good wrestling. I don't know. And then you can't think of like anybody. It's not Samoa Joe. He doesn't really fit that as much as he does. He's kind of like a lone rider. I don't know. Oh, Mr. Bogus, you weren't supposed to hear that.
He's still here. Dirk's in the building. No. He heard the big C.
No.
That he did.
You are very.
I am. I'm really sorry. I apologize.
Tuck, is there anybody you want to see?
No, I don't have anybody off the top of my head. I'm just playing. Who fits that mold? Is Johnny Gargano Blackpool Combat Club material? Is it Cesaro? Like he's a pure technical wrestler.
He can go.
He kind of leans more towards that. I know Jonathan Gresham's great in the ring as well, but that it was that line of Dynamite, and that line could have been an accident. You know, he might have said it on accident. It might have slipped out. It might have been something we would, so. I'm interested.
I hope it's him as Bryan Danielson.
Wait, what?
That's what I hope. I hope it's him as Bryan. I hope it's him as Daniel Bryan, and he comes out.
He's not.
And just does the yes. That's what I hope. I don't know who it could be.
I think it's obvious who you guys would assume that I want to show up in this match.
Elrod.
Chris Benoit. No.
Wow.
It's Johnny Gargano. I wanted
the opinions of one of the Gags did not speak for the whole squad with the Benoit comment, by the way, for the record.
That's just an inside joke. I always throw out the Benoit. I'm not going to put it on TikTok, but I want to see Johnny Gargano. And I know I previously said in past episodes, I really don't want him to go to AEW because I think he would get lost in the shuffle. But even if this is like a one-time thing, just to fill a spot here because Danielson can't go, Johnny's going to be doing a signing in Chicago on Sunday. He's already there. The dude's one of the best technical wrestlers in the world, you could say.
Are you going to that signing?
To the signing? Oh, yeah. I might have to look into it.
I forget that I'm in Chicago. So what
do you want to go to the signing?
Wow.
Yeah. I saw somebody tweet it. They were like, Johnny's going to be in Chicago at a signing that day.
I'm on it. Let me see.
Yeah, we'll let Tuck do his research because I'm not going to Warrior Wrestling beforehand, so we got a little time there. Yeah, that's a great point from Steve. As long as it's not Johnny Elite again. When everybody saw Johnny Elite and they thought it was Johnny Gargano. I know you guys already said goodbye to KG14, but hey, have a great night rest, KG14. Thanks for stopping by for episode 100. Tuck, you got any research over there?
It is at the Chicago Card Show. $30 is good for one autograph or one photo. You're going to have to pay $60 if you want both.
And where is he at?
The Chicago Card Show.
Is it just him?
The Chicago Card Show is a premier card show located at the Bridgeview Community Center in Bridgeview, Illinois.
That's not Chicago.
Question. Will Candice and Quill Gargano be in attendance? Also, Padme. Will the three of them be in attendance?
I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
that is his wife, his baby, and their dog.
Oh, that's the dog's name.
Oh, it's only $50 to get them both, by the way. $50 for a picture. And
Erica?
I don't want an autograph. I just want a picture.
I'll take a picture too. I don't need the autograph. I'll get it at SummerSlam if my figure ever decides to come in. Erica, I'm in if you're in.
What time is it?
I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Let's move on through the card here. We got a couple more matches. The Young Bucks and El Fantasmo and Hikuleo. I'm butchering these names, I know.
Please show it to me on the screen.
Hikuleo versus Darby Allin, Sting, and Hiromu Takahashi and Shingo Takagi.
Those are dudes with attitudes.
Oh, that hurt my brain just trying to read that. So, any thoughts on this match, guys?
It's tough because I feel like you have like the New Japan kids, like the Adam Coles, the Bucks, and you feel like this would sort of like lean in their favor. I don't know.
I think Darby and Sting win.
I was going to say the Bucks.
I just think that you got to build up a new contender for the Young Bucks now that they're the new champs. And
I feel, Sting's, I guess.
Well, my thought is, I thought personally the Hardys were going to walk away with the tag team titles when they were going to do that match. Obviously, we know what happened with Jeff. So maybe they had a plan for like a mini summer run of a babyface tag, and Darby and Sting can fill that void for a little bit. And maybe they just felt like throwing the titles on the Young Bucks because it's the safest bet. So I think Sting and Darby might go over in this match. Tuck, you have any additional thoughts?
No additional thoughts from Tuck.
Okay. So let's move on. We got 3 more matches here to talk about for Forbidden Door. We have an AEW Women's Championship match between Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm. I am very excited for this one because I think this is the first legitimate threat to Thunder Rosa's title. Tuck, do you think they're going to switch a belt here at Forbidden Door, or is it staying on Thunder Rosa?
This would be the belt to do it. Toni Storm's going to win it.
Would be the belt.
Oh, okay. Where's the confidence level sitting after that?
This would be the belt.
Tucky gets it.
This would be the belt.
Don't know what we're doing.
Where's your confidence
It's Sunday night.
Okay, I know that song. I just didn't know what part you were singing. I asked what's your confidence level, though, on Toni Storm winning. We'll never find out.
It's right, when he does that into the mic with his mouth, it died. Honestly, I echo that. I think that Toni Storm, this would be the belt. I think that it's no disrespect to Thunder Rosa. I just think also Toni Storm being a New Japan kid, I just think.
No, that's true.
I don't know. You need something. Do I think that Toni Storm is like the next biggest and best thing in AEW? Maybe not necessarily, but I think she's a good one to take it from Thunder Rosa and hold it until, I don't know, I think it keeps Tony's stock up.
And that's it? You got to
No, because now I
Erica got distracted by a comment, people that are later listening.
So bogus, there's crowning two.
He's talking about the Atlantic Championship and the AEW Championship.
Oh, the interim.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Which
Well,
is technically, two new champions.
Yeah. All right, I forgot about the other one. No, I think Toni Storm. Do I hope? I don't know, but I think Toni.
I'm going Thunder Rosa. There might be some heelish tendencies here from Thunder. I think she needs a little something different just because the title reign hasn't been the greatest. Maybe she sneaks a roll up and grabs the tights or exposes a turnbuckle, throws Toni into it, and we keep this thing going. And maybe at All Out, Toni Storm can take it because I do believe Toni Storm is worthy of being AEW Women's Champion. She's a very talented wrestler. So I'm going to go with Thunder Rosa, though, for now. And I like what Vogus said. They already are kind of crowning two new ones. So a third might be a little
I agree with the two Ryans that
Thunder Rosa's reign has been dry for me, man, Ryan Matthews says. And Vogus kind of agreed, saying Thunder Rosa needs to lose. This reign stinks.
And they didn't even know that they were agreeing because they're on two.
Doesn't everybody just say that about every AEW Women's Champion? I feel like we've all said that other than...
I don't think anybody said that about Britt.
Well, she was the best champion they've probably had. And I mean, it's not Thunder Rosa's fault she's put in this position.
Correct. It's not. Because if you were to ask anybody what they thought of her, they would probably have like nothing but mostly positive things to say. It's just, I don't know.
It is one of those matches.
Same thing with Hangman. It happens. I don't know why. I can't really.
Hangman put on good matches during the reign.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. There was still good stuff that came out of the reign. Maybe the storytelling just wasn't good.
Something. Yeah,
we know Vogus. Vogus said what he says every week. Their women's division stinks. And Vogus is still bogus, Ryan Matthews says. But for once, I respect this man's opinion. Look at that. Two guys getting along here for episode 100.
You love to see it.
So we got two more matches here. One of them being the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. I'm very excited for this because I've only seen Jay White wrestle once, and I've actually never seen Okada wrestle. I know.
As the kids say, this match is going to slap.
It's got Jay White, the champion, Adam Cole, baby, and Adam Hangman Page. It can go a lot of directions. It's a lot of story and history between these guys. Erica, you seem like you're ready to talk about it, so I'll let you go.
I'm really, I don't know if I am. I was just so effing excited. Like I said from the beginning, whether you were a casual fan or hardcore, I just said that Tony Khan will get us all amped in due time by the time of this pay-per-view. He sold it out. He now just has to worry about getting pay-per-view purchases. He will do it. All I gave a shit about was Okada coming. And then when it was week after week, nothing, I said, okay, I think I said it last week. I said, we have one more Rampage. If he doesn't show then, he's not coming. It is what it is. When those MF and coins dropped last night, I shouted. I was texting Bobby. Oh my God. I was like losing my mind. I am so happy for this. I am so happy for this match. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be fucking awesome. I don't know which way it goes right now because I'm like so hyped. But it's going to be great.
Erica, I know we talked about it earlier. We talked about match of the year candidates. This is probably going to be one of them. We're probably going to be talking about 1, 2, or 3 matches from this card.
For sure.
Are in the conversations come OTME time. Talk. Like if we're talking about this match in December, you wouldn't be surprised, I bet.
Next week, I think we'll be glowing talking about at least, 2 or 3 of these matches. We'll be like, and then what about this one? We'll all be like, I know. Yeah, that's what I think. And this will be one of them.
All right, Tuck, what are we thinking here? I'm going to make you pick in this one. And obviously, you got to be super excited to see what Okada and Jay White can do.
This one's very tough. But I think it stays on Okada or Jay White. I think it stays on that side. I don't see Hangman Adam Page winning it. I could see Adam Cole stealing it. That it's tough. I'm going to go with Okada because I'm wearing his t-shirt.
Okay. And I was kind of conflicted with this match more than the rest because I feel like they didn't just do Forbidden Door just to have good matches. I feel like they want to intertwine some of the belts just to keep some storylines from this show going on television, for the next couple weeks. So, or maybe they go over to Japan for a couple of months if a guy like Hangman or Cole were to win. I agree with Tuck. I do think Okada is going to get the belt back because he did lose it to Jay White. I did a little bit of research going into it. So this is a safe way to get it back on Okada, and then him and Jay White can continue their story over there. And then I'm sure Hangman and Cole will still be going at it. But I like how they referenced too in the promo last night, or Jay White referenced, he's like, Adam Cole, you shouldn't even be in this match because you lost to Hangman Page, not once, but twice. He's 0-2 against Page. He brought that up. I was like, oh, it's a nice little touch. But Ryan Matthews is going with Hangman. He said this is why he thinks they let Punk take it away from him. Vogus said Okada at All In was very dope. He was there for All In. And Ryan Matthews, I do love Adam Cole as champion, though. Wouldn't be mad. It's not, you can't go wrong with any of these guys, though.
No, not the biggest Jay White guy. I think if anything, kind of like what you said, I'm rooting for Okada anyway. I will be wearing his shirt. And I would like it to carry over into Japan. And then maybe that's a way or something to take away from Sunday night's show to bring the AEW eyes over to Japan. You see this match go down. You see Okada win it back from Jay White. And then it's not over. Now it's just happening over here. And it's a way to get AEW fans to watch the New Japan project. Because I think it's got to go both ways.
Yeah.
I think this would be a good match for that to have that happen.
Absolutely. And we got 4 of the best going at it here in that match, which then takes us to the interim AEW World Heavyweight Championship match between Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi. The Moxley is obviously the favorite here since he is on the AEW roster, Tuck. Would you be surprised to see Tanahashi pick up the victory here?
I would, because I just think Moxley's on a hot streak right now, and I think Moxley versus Punk was a place where they were wanting to go anyways, eventually. So that's why I lean towards Moxley in this one. Is Tanahashi going to become AEW? Is he going to become All Elite? So that having that out there makes me lean towards Moxley. But if you want to shake it up and you want to blow the Forbidden Door down, give it to Tanahashi.
I think, go ahead.
No, you go.
I just think, and what Ryan's saying too, like there's got to be like an intertwining of it. I also was thinking Moxley takes this, but to have like someone like Tanahashi have it, and then he can stay here.
Tanahashi versus Punk. That's a match.
Stay here and have these dream matches. But the only thing that like hangs me up about that is the injuries. Like, I don't know, but it would be killer to like have him here until someone like Punk, like obviously Punk, but like until Punk gets back. I don't know. And I also feel like there's such a missed opportunity having guys like Punk, Danielson, Samoa Joe absent for this, injured for this, or doing movies, whatever. I don't know. There's got to be like a part 2 to this whole pay-per-view, because these are the guys that probably would be drooling over it and they're like missing it. So I think there's got to be a second story to this, but
absolutely. I mean, I gonna go with Moxley to win. I think that's the safe pick. But if Tanahashi does win, you know, there is stories to be told there. Like you said, he can have a bunch of bangers there at AEW until he eventually loses to CM Punk whenever he does return. And going back to the last match, Steve is going to play it safe and go with Jay White. Oh, a lot of comments are popping up, so that just bumped this one. And here's a fair question. I mean, you kind of referenced it a little bit already. Do you think MJF will return here at Forbidden Door? You said he's out doing movies or some stuff. Is this where he makes his return?
He may, but in where? I don't know.
Could be the main event.
Where do you fit in?
Does Kenny pop up?
Oh,
I bet Kenny pops up.
You think?
I think. And I think like whether he was ready to, I don't mean physically, but like maybe he needed like a little bit, and maybe he does still like maybe not get 1,000% like physically, but I think like he's needed. I think like he's needed with all these injuries.
Yeah. Vogus says it has to be Mox. Tanahashi doesn't make headlines coming out of the show for me. Moxley does versus Punk. That's a fair point. And actually a fun fact too, if Moxley were to win here at Forbidden Door, both of his AEW titles that he won would have been won in Chicago if he does defeat Tanahashi, because he won it at Revolution, I believe, right, Tuck? That's the pay-per-view we were at? Yeah, against Jericho. He defeated Jericho at Revolution. Ryan Matthews
sure is that. Oh.
No, I was just saying, Ryan Matthews has a comment. MJF has to be involved in some way, shape, or form to spoil a match. He's got to remind people that he's still there. If not, maybe the situation is more serious than we think. He also said,
I just don't know if it's. Go ahead.
No, just keep talking. Don't
because
stop.
I just don't, because I feel rude. I just don't know if like MJF fits this pay-per-view. I feel like this pay-per-view is very, I don't want to say elite, but I feel like it's very like, like, I don't know. Not everybody's in on this. Like, not everybody's in on this, and that's fine. I don't think it takes away from anybody that's not on this card, but I feel like it's either like, you're either like, get this. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat of Ryan Vogus. Leave him off TV for a little bit, because once he eventually does come back, because let's be honest, he's gonna come back to AEW. There's no way he doesn't. That dude's pop is going to be insane, and that match between Moxley and Tanahashi could also be insane. I'm very excited for Forbidden Door. And one last
good way to
comment
put it, Vogus.
He's a sports entertainer. This is a pro wrestling show. That's Daddy Magic says it right there. Entertainer. So that's all we have here for episode 100. And if you've been watching since episode 1, you know we do a little thing called the most valuable mark. You see it in the background. It is the person that engages the most or provides the most quality comments during our live shows every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central. And this was a tough one. There were a lot of options here. We had a lot of engagement once again here for episode 100. And, things have been changing over the years. We've added a new member here to OTM, but sometimes when it comes to professional wrestling, things just need to stay the same. And new MVM of the On the Mark Wrestling podcast. He's been down since day one. Ryan Vogus. And yes, Erica doesn't seem too pleased with that one.
Like, I'm mad because I had 2 votes and one of them was
We're not doing both when we're giving a t-shirt away. I'm not giving away 2 free t-shirts.
Oh, right, I forgot. Oh.
Did her camera or audio just go crazy, Tuck?
Alien Release.
Oh, no. Okay, we Erica, you're gonna have to fix that because that volume was not good. She's sad, but her volume is very bad.
She's back. She's gonna sound great here. We're back.
How do you sound?
Hello.
Yeah.
We're good.
I mean, Vogus winning the MVM kind of just made you go alien on us, Chris Statlander.
That's it.
Well,
that
couple
was her
more comments.
Chris Statlander was the autographed 8x10 in the Pro Wrestling Crate this month. Very solid.
My idea would be MJF would come and take the mic, explains that he is the Forbidden Door as he isn't supposed to be here. That is a great idea from Steve. Robbie says, sorry, I've not been here full time. Had a busy night. Hope you guys are well and hope the episode was good. Robbie, you've been here for the past 20 something episodes every single second. So you don't need to apologize. We appreciate you for tuning in just right now. And Vogus said, I almost thought it would be Mikey Wilson.
I hoped. Mikey Wilson, I am very disappointed in you.
He's a sham.
And of course, Ryan Matthews has to take one final jab at Ryan Vogus, who is now, I think, 5-6-time champion. I don't know how many title reigns he's had, but you could take that MVM away from him next week when we go live for episode 101 at Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. And we probably will have a lot to talk about because Erica and I will be at the Forbidden Door. I will be reunited with my other co-host, who I have not seen since September?
Last September.
It's pretty wild. Erica, any final remarks here as we close out on episode 100?
I'm really excited for Sunday. I'm really excited that we hit 100. I'm happy to be here, and I thank you both for including me. You guys do great work. You guys do great shows. You put literally so much of yourselves into this show every week, and you do amazing. You do things that I could never even dream of doing, my little dumb brain, and you impress me every time, and I'm very fortunate to have you guys as my friends and as my podcast partners.
No, Erica, we are fortunate to have you be a part of the On the Mark Wrestling podcast. And like Ryan Matthews said, here's to 100 more, Tuck. Any final things to wrap us up? Thoughts? Anything to say to the listeners who have been down since day one?
You know, I think it's been my stance since episode 1. I've always said it's a great time to be a wrestling fan, and that still stands. You know, when we started the show, AEW was brand new. We had the Wednesday Night Wars, and we have traveled a wild road over the last 3 years leading up to episode 100. But we've got the Forbidden Door show coming up. We've got SmackDown tomorrow. We've got Raw. Does Vince McMahon come out again on SmackDown and Raw and cut a 7-second promo that nobody gives a shit about?
What a weirdo.
I did see a tweet that hopes that he starts coming out and just like, tonight on WWE Shop, 30% off tees, and then just like leave.
As long as people keep making like gifts, like still frames, like when he was hopping off the stage and like plug that on.
I'm here for it.
All
and
right.
We're in the next week. We'll wrap up Forbidden Door, and then we'll preview Money in the Bank as well. My title will be on the line. I am the WWE Premium Live Event Champion, so all of you will get the smoke.
I want the smoke, so that's fair.
I do have some words to say if you don't mind, Tuck. I know you're on a tight schedule over here that you might have to go to something. So if you have to bounce, go for it. All right, thank you. I just want to not address this comment specifically, but I'll keep it up. Steve said congrats one more time. Genuinely one of my favorite podcasts to catch every week. Enjoy Forbidden Door and have an amazing weekend. Catch you all next week for episode 101. And the reason I wanted to bring up that comment is it's pretty crazy to me that me and Tuck started this podcast, just two guys that played wiffle ball together, that our friendship evolved into professional wrestling as well. And we decided to make a podcast and just record episodes here in Northwest Indiana. And now we are talking to people in different countries about something that we love. And you guys interact, tune in every single week. It makes it that much more enjoyable for me to keep coming back, to keep doing podcasts, because ultimately what I went to school for was sports broadcasting. And I've always wanted to do something similar to this. And I feel like even though we're not making money off this stuff, I get to hang out with two of my best friends and all my friends that are listening and watching live every single Thursday. I thank every single last one of you. And to anyone that has watched the show, watched the YouTube clip, thank you. And we're going to keep grinding for you guys out there here at OTM.
And everyone in the chat, you know what's coming. Go ahead and hit it up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling
podcast.